There is a building inside your mind that you have been constructing for years, brick by brick. Every time you replay a failure, every time you reconstruct a moment you cannot change, you are adding another floor to a structure that was never meant to be permanent. Neuroscientists call this the architecture of regret, a neural construction pattern that consumes more metabolic energy than almost any other cognitive process and produces nothing you can use. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why your brain prefers the past to the future, what it costs you every time it does, and the specific cognitive intervention that interrupts the construction. The human brain has two temporal orientation systems: retrospection, the reconstruction of past events, and prospection, the simulation of future possibilities. In a healthy system, these two run in balance. In a ruminating system, retrospection dominates completely. The imbalance is an architectural consequence of how emotional memory is encoded. Events with high negative emotional charge are stored with more neural connections, more retrieval pathways, and higher accessibility than neutral or positive events. The building has better foundations than the blueprint. The architectural metaphor is precise. When you ruminate, your brain is not simply remembering, it is actively reconstructing, rebuilding the event with each retrieval, adding detail, reinforcing the emotional charge, and strengthening the neural pathways that make the next retrieval even faster. Every time you revisit the building, you are renovating it. The renovation problem. The original event is gone. What you are reinforcing is your reconstruction of it, a version that changes slightly with each retrieval, shaped by your current emotional state, your current beliefs, your current narrative about yourself. You are not remembering what happened, you are building what happened. And the building grows more elaborate with each reconstruction, more detailed, more certain, more solid, until the past feels more real than the present, because neurologically, it has been built with more resources than anything you are currently constructing. Rumination is anchored in the default mode network, the same network responsible for self-referential processing, future simulation, and narrative construction. When the default mode network is captured by retrospective processing, it loses its forward simulation capacity. The network cannot build your future if it is fully occupied renovating your past. Martin Seligman and Roy Baumeister's research shows that the negativity bias, the brain's tendency to weight negative events more heavily, is a survival mechanism catastrophically amplified in modern environments where existential threats are rare, but social and professional threats are continuous. The result, your brain applies the same neural resources to a critical email from your manager that it would apply to a physical predator. The threat response is identical. The construction crew works the same night shift. The building goes up regardless of whether the threat was real. Identify your building right now. Think of the memory you return to most often, not the most painful one necessarily, but the most visited. How old is it? How many times have you reconstructed it? How much more detailed and emotionally certain is it now than it was the first year after it happened? That detail, that certainty, is not memory. That is construction. The construction is not your fault. Your brain did not choose this architecture, but you are the only one with the authority to stop the renovation crew. And the intervention is specific. It is not positive thinking. It is a deliberate cognitive operation. Step 1. Architectural interruption. The moment you detect the building, the moment you feel the pull of the familiar reconstruction, you name it out loud or in writing, not the content of the memory, the process. I am reconstructing. This single act transfers it from automatic to conscious processing. The construction crew requires darkness to work. Naming turns on the light. Step 2. Prospective redirection. Immediately after naming, you ask a single forward-facing question, not how do I feel about what happened, but what is one thing I could build today that did not exist yesterday? This activates the prospective function of the default mode network, the forward simulation capacity that rumination has displaced. Step 3. Minimum viable construction. You do one small thing in the direction of the answer, not a plan, not a system, one action. The default mode network updates its orientation based on what you actually do, not what you intend. The construction crew follows the most recent work order. Give it a new one. The architecture of regret is real. The construction is biological, but the building permit belongs to you. Every time you name the process instead of entering it, you are withdrawing a permit. Every forward question is a demolition notice. Every small action is a foundation poured in a different direction. You are not your building. You are the architect. Architects do not live inside their blueprints. They build what comes next. This is Motive Foundry. We build what comes next.